Loyal on the beat.
Real Judah. That should be where I come from. So I tell them like this. Jerusalem.
I go from Jerusalem. I go from Jerusalem. I go from Jerusalem. I go from Jerusalem. I go from Jerusalem. I go from Jerusalem. I go from Jerusalem.
We kicked in that door like King David, let the Canaanites know he the man. They used to call that Jeebus, so we changed that up to Jerusalem. Right there on that West Bank, on the other side of that Dead Sea. Man, make a right in Hebrew. I went Jerusalem, where you gonna find me? Right next to Azekah and Lil Keith, that's where my Judas be. Now they in Demona and Arad, that's where my Judas be. Got evicted right from our land like we ain't paying fees. Now we paying off these Bernsteins for these lawyer fees. Damn, really? That's funny how that works out. I paid a little extra and got off, so it worked out. I'm talking to my people that be trapping at the trap house. I tell them that we the Jews, now get about this dope house now. We got some holy land that belongs to us. PZ said, Sean, you go first. You got that Midas touch. When I found out I was Judah, man, I didn't wait as much. They say you get hated a lot. Man, I don't get enough.
I go from Jerusalem. 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 I go from Jerusalem.
Word to my team, we don't need cameras. We can see clean, straight through the grammar. Ancient our king, they waiting for Santa. They sipping that lean on their own understanding. I focus on things, faith only fathoms. Jerusalem seem like Christmas and manna. The wicked gon' cleave like lifting up pimps. They funk is too P, you can't make the hymns. But I've been heard about every story, been heard about every glory, and I ain't never seen this category. Heavy Jews and they laughing on me, but never getting it twisted, homie. Humility is my testimony, but I'm from where it go cups. Shine inside our cabinets, homie. They mad I'm Jerusi and never be a Babylonian. Look best in their Gucci, but never be a Macedonian. Never rocking that Louis, cause my feet hanging over L's. Victory over loss, so high he brought us up and we chosen well. Should've never not a test the kings, cause we on it. One accord, but a beat, running y'all economy. God's land in my plans, count sand in one hand. Y'all can't, but y'all can. It's VIP in my land, Jerusalem. Yeah.
I go from Jerusalem. 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 I go from Jerusalem.
The land of Canaan. I'm trying to go back and take it over like Caleb. Sitting on top like a Sega. Get it all black on top like a Sega. You might catch me all up in Nazareth, working the hood like a labyrinth. See, I be all up in a papyrus, so I can tell y'all cats what a real Judah is. I come from a place called Jerusalem, talk with a slang like Peter from Galilee. Catch me Sunday through Tuesday, Wednesday through Friday, but won't catch me Saturday. That's how we do it where I come from. I don't care how you do it where you come from. So from the north, the south, the west, but we all give praise to the east, all mine. We soldiers, we defeat mighty men with rocks, but see now we're selling them. We soldiers, Saya El Capitan. So no, we do not need many men. Like the pictures of Wild in Jericho. Might have a house off in Bethlehem. How the kingdom will be water, I don't know. But heavenly things, I just pondered them. I ain't know about home, but now I long for home. Prodigal son, I've been gone for home. Matrix, I know woke up. I thought a jail cell was my home. The same spirit in Harriet Tubman. The same spirit that got it out loud. Trying to leave my people out of Babylon and trek back home to Aspa in Jerusalem.
I go from Jerusalem. I go from Jerusalem. I go from Jerusalem. I go from Jerusalem. I go from Jerusalem. I go from Jerusalem. I come from Jerusalem. I come from Jerusalem.
Jerusalem, I come from Jerusalem. Jerusalem, I come from Jerusalem. Jerusalem, I come from Jerusalem. Jerusalem, I come from Jerusalem. Jerusalem, I come from Jerusalem. Jerusalem, I come from Jerusalem. Jerusalem, I come from Jerusalem. Jerusalem, I come from Jerusalem. 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 I come from Jerusalem.
Shalom Israel. There is a place that we must labor to enter into, his rest, where all the righteous, the remnant, the elect will dwell. Isaiah 65 verse 9. And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountains, and my elect shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell there. Ezekiel 38 verse 8, and it reads, after many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword. It is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Thus say the sovereign Yah, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thy hand unto thy desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish, with all the young lions thereof, shall say unto thee, art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil. Therefore, Son of Man, prophesy and say unto God, thus say the sovereign Yah, in that day when my people of Israel dwell safely, shalt thou not know it? And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company, and a mighty army. And thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as a cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. Thus say the sovereign Yah, art thou he of whom I had spoken in old time by my servants the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years, that I will bring thee against them. Ezekiel 38, it talks about the elect, the remnant that dwelled safely without bars, without any concern of anything coming to hurt them. That after the land that was so waste and desolate is now at rest, and we can only be at rest with one. That is our King. That is our only Rabbi. That is our Father and our husband. In the land of unwalled villages, we will dwell safely there, without walls, no bars, no gates. That means no prisons, no places where we'll be locking people up, no places where we'll be working over 7 days a week. We will be safely with our King. That is a place that you are working, you are teaching to get into that rest. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1, and it reads, and there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of Yah shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yah. And it shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yah. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and the faithfulness of the girdle of his reins. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf, and the young lion, and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. And the cow and the bear shall feed. Their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. And the suckling child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand in the cockatrice den. They shall not hurt, nor destroy in all my set apart mountain. For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of Yah, and the waters cover the sea. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an insignia of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yah shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the isles of the sea. And he shall set up the insignia for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. And the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not vex Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines towards the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. And Yah shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the seven streams, and make men go over dry shod. And there shall be a highway for the remnant of his people, which shall be led from Assyria, like it was to Israel in the day that they came up from the land of Egypt. So Isaiah 11 lets you know that all those that survive that rod, that gets back in that land, shall have rest, and the spirit of wisdom and understanding they shall know, and the spirit of knowledge. And like it says in Ecclesiastes, they will fear the Most High, that is the beginning of wisdom and understanding, and they will have it in that land. And the animals in that land, a wolf, a leopard, snakes, bears, lions, a little child will be able to lead them all, and we won't be worrying about them dying. There won't be any death. The Most High will have us protected in unguarded walls, like he tells you in Ezekiel. He will have you protected. There won't be no bars. There won't be no animals trying to hurt you. There won't be no pedophiles going around trying to molest a young baby that's still on the mother's nipple. See, this rest that we will enter is glorious. Even the other nations will see it and seek it. But he talks of this thing like it's already happened. Past tense for our King. See, here we see that he gathered us out of the four corners of the earth. No longer will you find the faithful house of Israel, the faithful house of Judah scattered about. They will all be back in their home, in their land. That the highway had already brought the elect back home. That these seven streams are already split, and we walked on dry land to get there. See, this is what we are laboring to enter into. This is our Sabbath of rest. See, the Sabbath of rest we do is a commandment. It's a sign between us and him. but we are laboring. If we don't make it there, that our seed, our children will know that we will be protected in that land. That nothing on this planet or anywhere else can hurt us. That no longer we'll be scattered about, but we'll be home. Now, Hebrews chapter 4. So we can have a full understanding of the rest that we're trying to labor into. The one that counts and matters the most. Hebrews 4 chapter 1, and it reads, "Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. For we which have believed do enter into rest, as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. For he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and Elohim did rest the seventh day from all his works. And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest, seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached enter not, and because of unbelief. Again, he limiteth a certain day, saying in David, today, after so long a time, as it is said, today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. For Joshua had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day? Therefore remaineth, verse number 9, verse 4. There remaineth therefore a Sabbath to the people of Elohim. For he that entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works, as Yah did from his. Let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. The unbelief that we know happened to Israel in the wilderness, when they would not keep the commandments, kept doing after their own heart's desire. But if you have faith, you know when he spoke of that seventh day, you still keep that Sabbath as a perpetual covenant. It talks about 28 generations that you see in Matthew chapter 1. There still have to be 10,000 more generations to come. So that means you still keeping those commandments. That you still, the labor that you're working every day to enter into is not just that one Sabbath day on a Saturday, but it's that Sabbath day of rest where animals will not hurt your children, that you don't have to worry about what's going to happen to your loved ones, that you won't have to worry about murder, rape, covetousness. See, those that preach in the Hebrew nation that 12-year-old girls will get raped, that is blasphemous. When they teach that there'll still be murder inside that kingdom, that won't be the case in the people that dwell in unwalled villages. This is supposed to give you comfort. That doctrine that some people teach is of the devil. Because he's the only one who don't want you to see that you will have rest. He tells you if Jesus had spoke of another day, he would have said so. But the rest that we are trying to enter into, as we read in this Hebrews letter, a letter to the Hebrews, is the same thing you see from Isaiah as well as Ezekiel. We will finish off with Revelations chapter 20, verse 1. And it reads, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and the judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of YASHA, and for the word of Yah, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Messiah 1,000 years. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and set apart is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of Yah and of the Messiah, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. And when those 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations, which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about in their beloved city. And fire came down from Yah out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophets are, and shall be tormented day and night forever. Revelations 20 talks about the millennium time, the millennium reign, when the servants of the Most High are in that land. And when the fighting has started and began, we see that Satan was locked into his pit for 1,000 years. But the false prophet and his teaching was already cast into that pit. That business was already taken care of. And then the people that take part in that first resurrection, some of them were beheaded as a witness of YASHA and for the word of Yah. That means they were keeping the commandments. They taught against homosexuality, lesbian, gay men, abomination things. They taught against breaking the dietary law. They taught against not keeping the Sabbath day. They would not take the mark of the beast. They wouldn't put that chip or whatever mark it is in their foreheads or in their hands. They wouldn't have his thoughts and wouldn't carry out his physical actions. These are the ones that were resurrected in the first resurrection with the Messiah and reign with him 1,000 years. There will be others that will still be dead. Will have to wait for the second resurrection or waiting to get cast into the lake of fire. Blessed, it says in verse 6, those that have the part of the first resurrection, because the second death have no power, but they shall be priests of Yah. Again, verse 6, they will be priests of Yah. They won't be high priests. They won't be generals. They won't be the Holy Comforter. See, we know those are lies because they will be priests of the Most High. Not with exalted titles of men, but the only title that you need as a servant. And they shall reign with him 1,000 years. And when them 1,000 years expire, Satan will be loose. And he shall go out to see the nations. Remember in Ezekiel 38, it tells you that an evil thought will come upon them. And when that evil thought comes within them, then they will go trying to make war with the ones that are in the unwalled villages, the ones that are at rest, the ones that don't have to worry about an animal killing them, the ones that don't have to worry about anything. See, Satan will be loose in that evil thought, and he will deceive those nations which are in the four corners of the earth. See, no longer is Israel at the four corners of the earth because we are now home. All the other nations are scattered and not allowed to be where we are at. Selah. Think about that. That's verse 8. And Gog and Magog together with them, they will come to do battle. Those that dwell in the unwalled villages. Those that don't have no bars. Those that don't have no pedophiles. Those that don't have no murderers. Those that keep the Sabbath day. And the number of whom as the sand of the sea. And they will come in verse number 9. And they will come surround the saints. Who are the saints? The saints are Israel. But they will be devoured quick, fast, in a hurry out of heaven. Yah will devour them. See, there is nothing that you need to fear, but you have to be working to get into this rest. Because after that 1,000 years, Satan will be cast into the lake of fire, tormented day and night forever, with his false prophets that's already there, and the beast, that nation. And then there will be some more brothers and sisters that will join us in the second resurrection. But after that, we're waiting for that tabernacle. Shalom, Israel. May this be a comfort and a blessing to you that the millennium is now approaching and coming for the remnant, the elect, Holy Zion. Shalom, Israel. Hallelujah. Keep the commandments.